Before I discovered scripting, I was one of those manifestation junkies who spent hours and hours binge watching different things on social media, but I hadn't actually got anything to manifest into my life yet. It was great hearing other people share their success stories, but I still hadn't got any of my own. Looking back, I realized what I was doing wrong now. It's safe to say scripting really has changed my life, and it's been by far the best tool that I've ever come across to manifest the things that I want into my reality. Thousands of you have joined me along this journey and shared your manifestation success stories with me too, all using this one simple scripting method. So I'm dedicating this video today to walking you through the process so that you can use scripting too. In this video, we're going to cover what actually is scripting, how do you do it, why does it actually work, and also what happens when scripting doesn't work. 5 years ago, I was struggling. I was pouring everything I had into the business that I had at the time. 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. But no matter how hard I worked, nothing seemed to be happening. And in some ways, it was a great training ground to build up my discipline and my resilience. But it reached a point where I was getting really frustrated and I was thinking, what the heck am I doing wrong? And also, I can't physically work any harder. So it's not like just doing more is going to get me the results. And that's what led to me diving into this idea of manifestation, this idea of what we are focusing on with our mindset, any beliefs or limiting beliefs that we have in our head, if we believe that things aren't possible for us, for example, how those kinds of beliefs can actually be holding us away from getting the results that we want and can lead to us self-sabotaging, making the wrong decisions, or avoiding doing the simple things that will actually lead to success. And there's a spiritual side to manifestation as well, right? I started to think more about what my energy was like, what kind of energy I was putting out there into the world. I read this book once called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder, and she explained that the law of attraction is actually the law of radiation and attraction, meaning that what you radiate is what you attract in return. So this switched me on to the idea of, what am I radiating? Am I radiating the energy of someone who is a loser, of someone where no one would be interested in her business, someone who's feeling insecure about herself, someone who doesn't believe that she's beautiful or sexy, someone who doesn't think that her voice is worth listening to? Because I had those beliefs and I was radiating that energy out into the world, once I understood the law of radiation and attraction, it started to make sense as to why nobody was interested in my business, my social media wasn't growing, and no matter how hard I worked, the results just weren't coming. Big mistake I was making, and I see a lot of people do this still. I was giving my power away. I was trying to do this technique and this technique because fundamentally I was approaching things from a place of lack. I thought that doing one wouldn't be enough. I didn't trust, I didn't believe that any of them would actually work. And that was why I was overdoing it with the manifestation methods. And I think because I reached that point where I just wanted to give up and throw in the towel, there was actually something powerful in that. Because for the first time, I was letting go of all expectation, and I think I ended up letting go of any resistance I had too. It was at that point that I stumbled across the scripting technique. And when I heard the person explain how it worked, and I also heard how simple it was, I think I thought to myself, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. I've pretty much already given up on manifestation, but let me give this a go. To my absolute surprise, I discovered that everything that I wrote down on that very first scripting letter manifested within 6 months. And this was the first time any manifestation method had ever worked for me.
All of these things, everything that I wrote on this piece of paper has come true.
Yay. So let me quickly walk you through exactly how to use scripting. And actually something that would be useful for this part of the video is my free step-by-step scripting guide. And it's a great support tool that explains everything in plenty of detail and gives you spaces to fill out and prepare to write your scripting letter. The way that I do scripting, you're writing a thank you letter for the things that you want as if they've already happened. Now, I've written my scripting letters usually to the universe. So I'll leave that up to you to decide who you want to write your letter to. Dear universe, for example, thank you so much. Then you're going to choose 4 to 6 goals that you would like to manifest into your reality in the near future. And you're going to write a short, simple, but powerful paragraph about each one. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what to include in those paragraphs. But before I do, what kind of goals should you choose to put on your scripting letter? My recommendation is that you choose goals that you genuinely believe are possible for you in the near future. Don't write things down that feel so far away or so unavailable to someone like you right now that when you write them down, it doesn't feel like you're writing about yourself. It feels like you must be writing about somebody else. The reason is that it's important for your own brain to read this letter and feel open to the possibility of it happening for you. So when you think about the goals that you write down, there's at least a part of you that thinks, yeah, that's something that could happen for me. I can see that happening in the next 6 to 12 months without putting time pressure on your goals. Those are the perfect and juiciest goals to start with putting on this first scripting letter of yours. If there are goals, by the way, that feel too big, too far away, too out of reach right now, put them to one side. You can always put them on a future letter once you've built your belief of what's possible for you. So if there's a certain amount of income, for example, that you want to reach, but right now it triggers the heck out of you and it just feels way too impossible for someone like you, start with the next level of income that does feel possible for you, that does feel within reach for this version of you. Start there, because when you read it, it's not going to trigger you, and instead it's going to get you excited and feeling like, yeah, this is so within reach for me and I'm excited to step into this next level of my reality. By the way, when it comes to manifesting your bigger dreams and goals, the ones that maybe scare you right now and feel so out of reach, this is where doing the inner work of reprogramming your subconscious mind and changing your belief systems about what's possible for you is really important. You will manifest to the limit of what your brain is open to you receiving right now. I'll let that sink in. But you can work on that and you can change that by doing the deeper work. And that's the kind of thing I help my students with inside my manifestation program. So once you've decided what your 4 to 6 things are that you're going to include in your scripting letter, you're going to write a short paragraph for each one. And to keep it really simple, you're going to write 2 sentences for each of your goals. Sentence number 1 is going to be a simple sentence stating what you want as if it's already happened. I have met my soulmate. We are both in love with each other. I got the job at this company. I've just booked my flights to Fiji. We've now got our dream car. And the second part of what you're going to write about each goal is how it now makes you feel, or what life is like now that it's part of your reality. So you're basically adding detail and emotion to each one. So with manifesting your dream job, you might add some detail like, I feel so excited to wake up and get to work, and I feel so valued by the positive people in my work environment. If you want to manifest a new car, you could add, I love driving around our neighborhood, listening to our favorite music through the amazing sound system. The seats feel so comfortable and it drives so smoothly. These are things that you can actually feel or imagine or experience in your mind now. So you do that with each goal, a statement of how it's already happened and some more detail about what your life is like now or how it feels. Once you've done that with each of your goals, then you just sign the letter off at the end. Thank you so much, sign your name, and the letter has been written. Now the next part is really important. Now it's time to place that scripting letter on your bedside table, and every single morning as soon as you wake up, and also just before you go to sleep every evening, you're going to pick up that scripting letter and read it to yourself. It doesn't matter whether it's in your head or out loud. Do this for 30 days. Once you've done that, put it away somewhere safely and stay open to the opportunities, the ideas, the inspiration that comes to you. It's super important then to take action on your ideas and meet the universe halfway, because I'll add that this scripting letter isn't some kind of piece of magic that is going to just drop what you want into your lap. If you're scripting about building a 6-figure business, but all you're doing is visualizing and scripting and you're not taking action and building that business, it's just going to stay a dream. Now, for those of you who have a logical thinking mind and you want to fully understand why this scripting method works before you can really be convinced to give this a go for yourself, here's the science behind why scripting works. According to an article in Inc.com, you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals when you write them down. But scripting goes a level deeper than that. You see, the difference between just writing your goals and the scripting technique is that with scripting, you write your goals in the past tense as if they've already happened, and you're adding detail and emotion, which means that every time you read your scripting letter, it's going to help you to transport your mind to feeling like that's already happening now. Remember what we said about the law of attraction actually being the law of radiation and attraction? It means that every time you read your scripting letter with feeling, with emotion, as if you are already there, you are going to be radiating that energy every single day, every morning and every night. Another reason why scripting is so powerful is that you're also helping your nervous system to feel safe and familiar with your dreams and goals. Our nervous system would rather keep us in a familiar hell than take us to an unfamiliar heaven, which basically means our body, our survival instincts are set up to keep us in our comfort zone, to keep us safe in the cave where we know what's going on, rather than to take us out into the great wilderness where there might be lions and tigers and bears. So by making your goals feel as normal and familiar to you as your everyday current reality, the more open your body, nervous system, and subconscious mind is going to be to letting you take the steps forwards to allow yourself to receive that reality. I don't know about you, but for me, so much of the manifestation game is actually about letting myself have the things that I want. Then we can really understand the importance of doing things like scripting, taking care of our nervous system, and knowing that it is safe to have what we want and it is available to someone like us. Another reason why scripting is so powerful is because every single day you're going to be feeding your subconscious mind with your dreams and goals, with the reality that you want it to look out for. You see, our subconscious mind will always look for things in our external world to agree with our internal beliefs. This is where the reticular activating system part of your brain plays a huge role as well. Basically, whatever you focus on the most, your brain will show you more of because it thinks that that is the most important thing to you and that is what you want to see more of. So actually, if up until now, when you're honest with yourself, you've been focused most of the time on how crap things are, on how another day has gone by and you're still not there yet, on how you're stuck, on how things aren't growing, on how it's too difficult for you, on the worst case scenario. Be aware that your mind will obediently look for more examples and show them to you. So a manifestation hack that I share with a lot of my students is to quite simply change the story that you've been telling yourself. If every day you've been thinking that nobody's interested in buying your products, that all the good men are taken, that it's really hard to stay consistent with your fitness routine, then your brain is going to obediently show you things that back up your belief. If you change those stories to ones like, everyone wants to buy my products, there are so many gorgeous and positive and wholesome men who are still single and still available and would love to meet me. Or I'm enjoying my fitness journey. I can't wait to move my body and make it stronger and feel those happy hormones being released when I exercise. Even if you feel like a liar when you first start telling yourself these things, your obedient mind will look for things that agree with whatever you're saying and show you more evidence to prove you right. And there's another incredible reason why scripting works so well, and that's because of the time of day that you read your scripting letter. Do you remember how I said to read your scripting letter every morning as soon as you wake up and every night just before you fall asleep? That's because those 2 times of day are the most powerful times of day to access and imprint your subconscious mind. Now, what if it doesn't work? From my experience of having written countless scripting letters, I'm proud to say that with some of those scripting letters, every single thing on the letter came true, whereas with others, all except one thing or all except two things manifested. If you have one thing that manifests off a scripting letter, you should be celebrating that. It's all a plus. But if you find yourself in a situation where scripting isn't working for you, here are some possible reasons why. Firstly, there may be some deeper subconscious work required because currently you might feel so far away from ever being able to have those things that you've written on your scripting letter. If you aren't open to it, and I mean if your subconscious mind fundamentally doesn't believe that it's available to someone like you, that will continue to repeat itself as a pattern and you'll continue to hold yourself away from it in one way or another. What's exciting, if you think about the other side of that coin, is that you can change that through mindset reprogramming, through healing old wounds, through doing inner child work and shadow work. You can heal your relationship with yourself, with money, with men, with relationships, with your body. All of that is possible. And maybe you just need to dedicate a few months to healing that area in your life to create positive change for the rest of your life. With some of the other things on my scripting letters that didn't manifest, I actually look back now and I'm kind of glad that they didn't. So I'm open to the fact that I don't always know what's best for me. As things unfold and I connect the dots looking backwards, it's only then that I truly realize that. And the third reason why something may not have manifested is because it may not have manifested yet. Something that's important to remember with manifestation, which makes it so much more magical. The universe will bring what you want to you, but not necessarily in the package that you imagined. I always wanted to live in Spain and live in a villa one day. But when I first had that goal, I thought it would be through working in the film industry in Madrid or through an internship and then living as a student in Barcelona. And when those plans of mine fell through, actually, it wasn't the end. The universe found another route to bring me to the life that I wanted. It was via a route that I had never planned, but it unfolded for me perfectly. And now that I have this life where I've actually also met my husband and we got married in this town in Spain and we live together now here full time, and where I get to be my own boss and I get to create the content that I want to create on my own terms and I get to do it in a way that feels fulfilling for me, I wouldn't change any of it. I'm glad my internship in Madrid fell through. I'm glad I never became a student in Barcelona, because if I had, it wouldn't have led me to this exact moment of my life right now. And maybe you just need to trust the process a little bit more and zoom out and realize that even if it doesn't happen in one particular way or by one particular deadline, that doesn't mean it's over for you forever. You getting to that outcome is inevitable. All you need to do is trust the universe and see how it's going to guide you there, and be open to following those breadcrumbs and seeing where it takes you.